Alright, this, as you can see, is a basic standard ENDER 3, kind of, I guess, the run-of-the-mill classic ENDER 3. It has the original plastic extruder right there. That's the plastic extruder body. The lever can be changed when and if it ever cracks. No need to change it to a metal extruder, because there seems to be all kinds of issues that this extruder will never have, that the metal one seems to always have. Also, you can see a fan back there. That particular fan is pulling air from this area. You can see here. There's a piece of paper right here. You can see that it is pulling air. There is a bit of a vacuum right here, and it's pulling air from right here. So there's a bit of a draft. Okay. It is an open air, no box, no enclosure, no heat encasing this area. A non-heated bed. Let's just show right here. This is the set point for the bed. Is non-heated. It's the set point is 0, so it's room temperature, as you can see. That's 30 degrees Celsius. We have 245 right there on the nozzle, and the reason is because this is ABS. Okay, this printer is printing white ABS. I don't know if you can see it there on the sticker. Okay, you might just have to take my word for it, but this is ABS. It's actually going through the plastic extruder. That's again the original extruder, through the Bowden tube onto the moving print head. This is the hot end. The air being pulled in right here is room temperature. Okay, because you want to keep this heat sink cool. If it was in an enclosure, you would have all kinds of problems because the air in the enclosure would be too hot to use efficiently to cool the heat sink. So instead of changing the whole damn thing to something else, just print this way. This is how I'm printing right now. Open air. Okay. Fan right there for ventilating the ABS styrene fumes that are created right here at the nozzle. Okay, so any air in this location is being pulled right here with that fan out a window. Okay, so it's fully ventilated, no fumes, standard hot end, efficient airflow here to keep the heat sink cool, and a non-heated bed. All right, so basically, I don't know if we can see that again. The set point for the bed is at 0. That's the set point. It's hard to see. There it is, I guess. Okay. Also, printed in this same fashion, open air fashion, with no heat environment, no heat. This is ABS right now. As you can see, this is also ABS. It was printed in the same setup. Okay, so this is, as you can see, clean, no cracks, not falling apart, or no ribs or ridges or lines. Again, ABS prints pretty clean. And you can see that here for yourself. Okay, this right here is the cloak. It's the bottom portion. When this sits on a shelf, there's a bottom portion of this cloak, so it hangs down. So what's going to happen is this is going to be glued on that box. Okay, this cloak, this ABS cloak, is going to be glued to the front of this box. So basically, when you lift off the lid, the cloak will still be here. The lid is also ABS. This is also printed in ABS. You can see for yourself how clean it is. And again, it was printed in exactly the same fashion as you see right here, right now, before your eyes. This will be glued right up here just like that. That will be glued right here when it's done, and it should be done here in about 7 minutes. And you can see here that's printing right now. We're going to go ahead and give a quick tour as well. Those springs are stock. You can see it for yourself. Those aren't yellow springs. They're not chunks of rubber. They are the original springs that came with the printer. So as long as they're installed correctly as per the factory design, they work as you see them right now. You can see there's just enough thread sticking through the bottom there of the knob. So there's good, sufficient compression on the springs, not sloppy. Okay. Again, no electronic gizmo here. You don't need an electronic gizmo because this is my print surface. It's flat. There's no highs and lows to compensate for. So an electronic gizmo here would be useless. It would be rendered useless. So once you have a flat surface and it's known to be flat, you don't have to heat the bed or anything, so you can use a mirror. Then all you need to do is use the paper feeler gauge. If I can find it here, probably have it here someplace. Oh yeah, right here. You can just use a simple paper right here. The thickness of paper is sufficient to tram the bed. No gizmo, no heated bed, mere tile right here, purchased from the hardware store, cut to size. Standard hot end, basic, run-of-the-mill, you know, no frills, classic. Right there, printing ABS. And let's see if we can see the sticker better. I know it's upside down, but again, you can take my word for it. Let's turn it around. Let's spin it around. Let's show everybody. There we go. ABS white filament on the spool, mounted right over here. Okay. When this is printing, and while I'm not videotaping the process, there is a cover, all right, here, this kind of a fabric cover that drapes down over the front of this, kind of consolidating the fumes produced right here to go out the window right there. So there you go. It's simple, basic. I know it's been said that, you know, you can change everything to accommodate for ABS, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go through all those changes because I don't print ABS all the time anyway. Since I print PLA, I wanted to still be able to do ABS without all the changes. One thing I did do, which can be either left or taken away, it's just not, it just doesn't matter, is there's this particular setup. Right? So what this is you see the nozzle, you see the blue Bowden tube, you see the coupler, and between the coupler and the Bowden tube is a spacer. Right here is a little 3D printed spacer, and it's sitting right here. So there's only two items. The blue Bowden tube and the spacer is dropped into the hole right there, and that's my heat break. I know there's a metal heat break that you can buy and change everything, but if you want to avoid that, which I did, I wanted to come up with a way I could just literally print PLA and right away go to ABS and right away go back to PLA. And I changed nothing. You can see that for yourself. Okay, so this is the only thing that's sitting in there. Again, all I do is either remove the nozzle, put the coupler, or actually I have to remove the coupler, and drop the blue tube in there on top of the nozzle, put the spacer in there, and then thread the coupler in place. And what that does is the coupler pinches, holds securely the spacer, the blue tube, solidly up against the nozzle. So there's no gap. So since that's the case, I can remove this white Bowden tube anytime and still not lose the advantage of the spacer, blue tube, and nozzle coupler setup right here. Okay, this right here. And it's working now. It works great. Not a big issue, but it is a fix. It is a way to print ABS and a standard ENDER 3 right here. And again, nothing about this has changed. You can see that's not a metal extruder.